Hola, buenos días. Bienvenidos. We finished yesterday with nacionalidades, las nacionalidades, and hopefully you have been practicing some with that and with the verb to be, el verbo ser, okay? Yo soy, tú eres, él es, okay? That goes together very well with when you're describing what your nationality is, okay? Vamos a la página 16. And we're going to cover numbers, and this is probably something that a lot of you feel very comfortable with already. Los números de 0 a 30, counting from 0 to 30. And of course, here you have the numbers highlighted, so you can click on them and hear the pronunciation. And well, I have plugged in my microphone, that's why you can't hear it, but you can do that and listen to it as many times as you want. Cero, uno, dos, tres, cuatro, and remember, always keep in mind what I told you about vowels and consonants, okay? Very specific sounds for vowels, and we never make one sound out of two vowels. You always pronounce each one of them, and very soft consonants, okay? For example, here in the long ones, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. See how I'm pronouncing both the E and the I, okay? 22. There's no such thing as making one sound out of the E and the I together, okay? 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Okay, very soft T's. 30. Okay, and always pronounce both vowels. All the letters in a word are pronounced. Okay, okay, muy bien. Entonces, you are going to practice, if you're meeting with a partner, you're going to practice 18 and 19 together. If not, you're going to have voice recordings to practice your numbers. And even if you're not meeting with a partner, you can practice them out loud. You can do these activities practicing them out loud. Okay? Vamos a la página 17. En la página 17 tenemos nota cultural, el mundo hispano. There are 21 countries that have Spanish as their official language. There are other countries that where a big part of their population speaks Spanish, and some of them have Spanish as a second official language. Okay, but 21 of them, pretty much all of Latin America and Spain, have Spanish as their official language. So there are a lot of people in the world who speak this language, and in the United States, as you already know very well, especially here in the Southwest, Spanish is becoming a very a language that a whole lot of people speak. Millions of people speak Spanish in this area and in the United States in general. So it's very important in this world that we live in that it's a global society where there are no boundaries anymore. You can have friends from anywhere in the world, and odds are that you are going to have friends or co-workers or even become related to a Spanish speaker in some way. Okay, so it's very important to learn to communicate, just to make relationships, a little easier for all of us, and it also helps us to be more culturally aware and open-minded. Okay, to consider other cultures other than our own. Okay, so you do have nota cultural activity in your e-text activities. Okay, so practice with your numbers because they're going to be very useful when it comes to learning the time, to tell time. Okay, la hora. This means la hora means the time. La hora as in the time in a watch. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to go to a PowerPoint here that I have to make it a little clearer because this doesn't explain very well. You do have in the next page an explanation, and of course you can always go to the tutorials in my Spanish lab and have a better explanation there. But let's go here to my PowerPoint, and I wanted to explain a little bit. Okay, so to ask what time is it, you're going to ask ¿Qué hora es? ¿Qué hora es? ¿Qué hora es? And of course, when you speak, you don't separate the words like that in any language. So you can practice saying them separately just to get the pronunciation right, but then put it all together, okay? And don't try to speak fast because that doesn't help it doesn't help you. Okay, speaking fast doesn't make you sound like a native speaker. So you can practice the words separately. ¿Qué hora es? The H, just pretend like it's not there. It's always silent, okay? Except when it's CH. But otherwise, it's always silent. So never pronounce the letter H like you would in English with the H sound, okay? It's not que hora es, but it's que hora. Just pretend like the H is actually not there. ¿Qué hora es? And then put it together a little bit, combine the words a little bit. ¿Qué hora es? ¿Qué hora es? ¿Qué hora es? So the big hand is going to indicate the minutes, of course, and the little hand is going to indicate the time. So to say that it's 1 o'clock, it's 1, you're going to say es la una. Es la una. We're going to go over the hours, okay? The o'clock hours, okay? Es la una. 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 To say that it's 2 o'clock, you already know your numbers. But it's going to change a little bit. Instead of saying es, we're going to say son las dos. Son las dos. From now on, all the numbers 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12 is going to be son instead of es. Okay, the only time when we're going to say es is for 1. Okay, son las dos, 2 o'clock. Son, and you can guess what we're going to say here. Son las tres. Son las tres. Son las tres. Son las tres. Son las cuatro. Son las cuatro. Son las cuatro. Son las 5. Son las 5. Okay, so, ¿qué hora es? Son las 5. ¿Qué hora es? Son las 6. See, las ends with an S and 6 begins with an S, so it's pretty much they run together. Son las 6. Son las 6. Son las 6. ¿Qué hora es? Son las 7. Son las 7. Son las 7. See, you pronounce all of the vowels. I-E-E. Son las 7. ¿Qué hora es? Son las 8. Son las 8. Son las 8. Son las 8. ¿Qué hora es? Son las 9. Son las 9. U-E-E. Son las 9. Son las 9. ¿Qué hora es? Son las 10. The letter Z is always pronounced as an S, okay? So there is no such thing as the sound Z like you have in English. The letter Z, just pretend like it's an S, okay? Son las 10. Son las 10. ¿Qué hora es? Son las 11. Son las 11. Son las 11. ¿Qué hora es? Son las 12. Son las 12. Son las 12. For 12 o'clock, you can also say, it could be midnight or it could be noon, okay? So to say noon, you're going to say, you can also say, es el mediodía. Es el mediodía. Es el mediodía. Es el mediodía. And if it's midnight, you can say, es la medianoche. Es la medianoche. Es la medianoche. See, pronounce every single letter. E, I, A, O, E. All the vowels. Es la medianoche. Okay? Muy bien. Let's go out of the thing here because I want to be able to move the hands. Entonces, how about when you want to say it's 10 after 1, or it's 1:15, or it's 4:20? Well, you already know the numbers up to 2:30, so this you should be able to do this. Okay, if it's 1 o'clock, you're going to say you already know how to say that. Es la una. Okay, es la una. Now, if it's oops, sorry about that. If it's 5 after 1, anything that is after is going to you're going to add the letter Y, which means and. Okay, so you're going to say es la 1:05 because 5 minutes have passed. Okay, es la 1:05. It's like saying it's 5 past 1. Okay. Now, if it's 10 after 1, you're going to say es la 1:10. 10 minutes have passed, so es la 1:10. And you pretty much get it from there, right? Es la 1:15. Now, for the quarter times, here when it's 15 after, you can say es la 1:15, 1:15, or you can say it's a quarter past. So you can also use the word cuarto. Be careful with the word cuarto because you can get confused with the word cuatro, which means 4. Okay, this is RT and number 4 is TR. Okay, so you can say es la 1:15 or es la 1:15. Okay. Now, if it's 1:20, 20 minutes have passed. So you're going to say es la 1:20. Es la 1:20. Es la 1:20. For 1:25, es la 1:25. Es la 1:25. And for the half hour, you can use the number 30. Es la 1:30. Es la 1:30. And that is a pretty formal way of saying 1:30. Usually in colloquial language, you can say una y media, half past 1. Okay, es la 1:30. Media means half. Okay, es la 1:30. Okay, so all of this half of the clock, we're going to use the word y. Es la 1:05, y10, y15, y4, y20, y25, y30. Now, when we get to this half of the clock, we're going to say it's 20 minutes till. Okay, so we're going to use the word menos. Okay, it's 2 minus. Okay, and here we need to change the word to 2 because we're saying it's 20 minutes to 2 o'clock, okay? Or it's a quarter till 2. So instead of saying una, like here, on this side we have to change to the next number, which is going to be dos, okay? So it's getting closer to 2 now. See? Entonces, if it's 1:35, there are 25 minutes until 2. So we're going to say son, and we have to change from es to son, okay? The only one that is es is 1 o'clock, or 1:10, 1:20. Now, when we go to the other numbers, we have to say 2, son. Son las 2:25. There are 25 minutes here until 2. So we're going to say son las 2:25. Okay, for 20 till, we're going to say son las 2:20. 20 minutes till. And for a quarter, it's not very common to use the number 15. It's not very common to say son las 2:15. That is really not common at all. You always say cuarto, and it's a quarter till. Okay, son las 2:15. Menos cuarto. Son las 2:10. Son las 2:05. And here, of course, 2 o'clock son las 2. Okay, son las dos. Okay, I'm not going to move that. ¿Sí? Muy bien. Okay, so let's go back now to our textbook here. Muy bien. Entonces, here on the next page, you do have an explanation of some of the things here. Let's do a little bit of practice here with what you have in la página 18. You have different clocks and watches. So here you have 12 a.m. It's midnight. And so we're going to say es la medianoche. Es la medianoche. And you can skip la if you want. You can say es medianoche. Es medianoche. Either one is fine. If it's 12 noon, you're going to say, if you want to say noon instead of saying 12, you're going to say el mediodía. Es el mediodía, or just es mediodía. Okay? For 1, es la una. Everything that is 1 something is going to be es la una. Es la una. Okay? From there on, we have to say son. So here we have 10:05. Son las 10:05. Remember, on this side of the clock, everything is going to be y. Son las 10:05. Son las 3:15. Y cuarto, a quarter after 3. You can also say las 3:15. Okay, 15. Son las 6:30. Son las 6:30. Or you can also say son las 6:30. Quarter till 9, remember that we have to say the next number, okay? Son las 9, okay? Menos cuarto. Quarter till 9. Son las 9 menos. On this side of the clock, everything's going to be menos. Son las 9 menos cuarto. Son las 10 menos 25. Son las 10 menos 25. ¿Sí? Muy bien. So, in my Spanish lab, you have activities with the time. Okay, here's a little bit more of an explanation about telling time. Use es la to say times between 1 and 1:59. Everything that has una in it is going to be es la. And then son las to say times except between 1 and 1:59. To express, at what time something happens or something is going to be, you're going to say a la, if it's a la una, if it's 1, a la una or a la 1:30, or a las, if it's all the other times. This is to say at what time, okay? All right, so I'm going to let you read this explanation, and remember that you have tutorials in my Spanish lab if there's something that is not very clear, and of course you can always also ask me. ¿Qué hora es? So this is something that you're going to do with your partner if you're meeting, and of course you can also do by yourself if you would like to do that, okay? And writing down is always good so that you can practice your writing as well. See? Okay, muy bien. So a 21, you're going to also practice with a partner, okay? And then you also have activities in the student activities manual. See? Muy bien. So this is where we're going to stop for today. And if you're not doing activities with your partner, do the recordings, and you have 2 recordings to do for today. And you also have tutorials to help you out a little bit more, okay? Tomorrow, we're going to finish the week with the days and the months and the seasons and expressions to say what you like and what you don't like. So do all your activities, and as always, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. Entonces, hasta mañana. Adiós.